Attention all passengers, it's Trevor Noah on the mic. That's right, guys, today is Fun Friday and we are reacting to one of my all-time favorite comedians, Trevor Noah. Why are we doing this? Because it's Fun Friday, and on Fun Friday, all bets are off. I'm just trying to react to stuff that's fun. And Trevor Noah I have liked for a really long time. How about you? If you're as obsessed over Trevor Noah as I am, put what your favorite joke of his was down in the comments below. Mine would have to be one of the first specials that he did when he talked about how he spent 14 hours, I think it was 14 hours on the plane learning to be black and then got to Miami. And if you know what I'm talking about, then you should know how the punchline of that joke goes. It was one of his first specials, and I think it came out around 10 years ago. But yeah, Trevor Noah. Let's watch him and have some fun, right, guys? You in? I'm in. Let's do this. Okay, so real quick, this is Trevor Noah. He's a fantastic comedian. I've been a fan of his for probably close to 10 years now. I do not remember Attention All Passengers. I don't know if I watched it before I became a flight attendant, maybe, but I remember my sister introduced me to him. He's got over 4.2 million subscribers. This video has over 8 million views. It was published back in 2019, so that's what, 6 years old, roughly? Yeah. And even though I try not to react to stuff that's too old, I am trying to react to fun stuff. And I don't think I've seen this one, even though I'm a fan. Let's see if I have or not. But either way, I just thought it'd be fun to get a flight attendant's perspective on some travel stories, because Attention All Passengers kind of indicates that it's a plane story.
But the pilots are calm, they cool, you know, you get into the air, they start making useless announcements that you don't even care about, you know, just to give you that feeling that he knows what he's doing. You get up there as the seatbelt lights go off, boom. Ladies and gentlemen, as you may have noticed, we've reached our cruising altitude. Currently sitting at 23,000 feet above sea level, cruising at about 720 kilometers an hour in this Boeing 737, one of our favorite planes in the Starflight Alliance fleet. It's a beautiful sunny day up here. We might encounter a few bumps, but nothing too hectic. The cabin crew will be taking care of you. In the front, we've got Esmeralda and Jonathan. In the rear, Simon, Dupitsang, and Ferrer. I'll be taking care of you. And if you need anything, don't hesitate to call. I'll let you know once we've begun our descent. Until then, please enjoy your flight. Thank you.
If you think about it, it is funny. The pilots always do say, you know, oh, if you have any questions or you need our advice, please let us know. And I'm always joking around like, please let us know, as if they're going to open the door. Like, really? I don't know why they make the pilots say that, but it is pretty funny if you think about it. We're never going to let you talk to the pilots when they're in the cockpit, just straight up. And even though this is 2019, that's still the same today as it was then, because I was a flight attendant by then.
You're like, oh yeah, pilot, yo, my guy, pilot. It's cool. I just don't like the fact that they never let you know when something's gone wrong. It freaks me out, because they trained to keep you calm no matter what's going on. And I noticed this because we hit turbulence coming into Joburg. There were hectic storms, and the plane started shaking, and you know, it wasn't like the calm turbulence. You know, it's that turbulence where people, you know, the knuckles get white when they're holding their, you know, and because you know people try and act natural in the plane, they'll be like, and then they get to a point where they're like. You know, when that point comes, and like everyone is panicking, except the air hostesses. They're amazing. I love how they do it, you know? Like you'll hit the turbulence, and be like, things are falling, the bags are hitting the sides of the compartments. People are panicking, and except they just move through naturally. It's freaky. It's almost like the lower half is not connected to the upper body. Because they'll just carry on, they'll be like, yes, you guys, would you guys like some coffee? Yeah, okay. There you go. Be careful, it's hot. Thank you. All right then. Anything for you, sir? Yeah, okay. Okay then, just pass me a apple juice, all right, thank you very much. There you go. Would you like some ice? Nice, thank you.
Honestly, that's very true, and it comes down to the plane. He's perfectly describing a 737, which I know sounds crazy, but I would know that turbulence is like that on a 737 since that's not my plane, but I've been on enough of them. One of the reasons the 145 was always my favorite plane is because as a plane, let's say this is the tail, it would shake like this. And I used to be in roller derby in the 30s, so all I had to do was bend my knees as if, you know, you're skating. And no problems. I had no problems on that plane at all. And now I'm on the 175, which does a little bit more of this. It's like a dog wagging its tail, which is also how the 737 kind of is too. It wags its tail. And I was not happy when they got rid of our 145s and they made us go over to the 175s and 170s because they're both like that. But I flew with this flight attendant. She's been a flight attendant for like 30 years. She's one of my favorites. And she's not exactly a small woman. I wouldn't call her fat at all. She's just voluptuous and she's got some really nice hips on her. And the first time I was flying with her and we hit bad turbulence, I'm doing this. I'm trying to get my balance. And she's just hula hooping. Like her hips were moving like she was one of those dolls on a dashboard. And her top was completely straight. And I was like, how are you doing that? How are you doing that? She's just like, you'll get used to it. It's been a couple years and I'm still not used to it. I'm telling you, I'm still not used to it. It's just not my balance. But it is funny that he's doing that because that's kind of how I am trying to get my balance on the 175 and the 737s.
You know how they do it. And then the pilot has the nerve to come on in the middle of the biggest storm ever. The plane is shaking, the wings are tilting slightly upwards. You think you're gonna die. It's like people are screaming. Ladies and gentlemen, we've encountered some slight turbulence. We'll ask that everyone return to their seats at this point and refrain from using the lavatories. Please note we will be flying at a high altitude to try and alleviate the problem. Also, keep your seatbelts fastened and no hot drinks will be served at this time for your safety. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you in a moment once we've gotten out of this bumpy patch. Speak to you in a moment. That moment might never come. He doesn't tell you this. When the nationwide flight lost an engine, the pilot said nothing. It just fell. Quiet. I don't want a pilot like that. I want someone who lets me know. I want to know before I'm going to die. I want to know. I want to say a prayer or two. I want to prepare myself, you know? I want to forgive everyone that I hate in the world. Give me a chance. Give me a chance. But they don't, pilots. No, they don't. I bet people who die in plane crashes don't even know they've died. Must be the worst feeling in the world. There's like a whole bunch of confused people popping into heaven like, poof. I swear these airports change all the time. I never know where to go. I'm like, are we in heaven? Oh, wow, I can't believe we made it, hey? I can't believe, wow, this is amazing. And there's St. Peter at the gates, and he's like, come forward, please, come forward. Come forward. She's like, here you are, I'm St. Peter, St. Peter. How about you? Yeah, I know, many of people are shocked. Just come. I get that all the time. Just come. Just come. No, I just thought that, no, don't worry, just come, please. Just wait till you see Jesus. Come. I don't want that. I want someone to let me know when I'm gonna die. Like taxi drivers. There's no person who dies in a taxi not knowing that they've died. Just before the crash, taxi driver will be like, yo! People walking into heaven like, yo, dead. Dead. Yeah, no, shonile la, we're dead. Gone. Ay. They know. Sometimes they survive the crash, but they still think they did. They're walking on the pavement, dead. You're dead. But luckily we did land safely in Johannesburg. We landed safely and everyone clapped when the plane landed. Yay! Clapped and walked into the airport terminal building. And that's the point when you realize.
You know, it's funny. People only clap when the flight was so bad that they thought they were going to die. If you think about that. Otherwise, if it's a smooth flight, they don't clap. If it's a nice flight, if it's a nice landing, they don't necessarily clap. If it's crazy turbulence, they clap. Especially like Chicago's a very windy city. And when you come in, a lot of times you're coming in like this. And then if they land it nice and smooth, they'll clap every now and then like that. But most of the time they don't clap. So that must have been a really bad flight if he's talking about them clapping.
As you're back in South Africa, when you're flying, it's international. And then when you land at any of our airports, and if you listen carefully, you realize that you're back. Like South Africa, once again, the world went there. Then we were like, no, going. Yeah, we'll find just that side. Because all over the world, they conform to a norm, and that is in airports, women make announcements. It's always a woman, always. And she's always calm, always monotone, always come over that system. She sits in a room quietly. They bring her the pages one by one. You can be in Heathrow, for instance. You'll hear that woman come on the system. Ding, ding. Attention all passengers. Please note this is an airport announcement. No passengers are permitted to leave any items unattended, as this may be seen as a security risk. Any unattended luggage will be removed by security and destroyed. Thank you. Dun dun. Everywhere in the world, even if you go to like non-English speaking countries, they still conform to that norm. You know, you go to places like China where you wouldn't expect it, you know? You think, I see some of you probably think they'll be like, oh, don't even laugh, that's racist, don't even laugh. No, that's racist, you don't even laugh. But they're not. They calm. It's a woman, still the same. She's just another language. She'll come on the piano and be like, dum dum. 才个是那些，从早考个一学的，跑个一学的，不得这些爱为他个一些，从早考的一次，谢谢你，dum dum. And you know they've conformed. And then you land in South Africa. And you know you've landed. You know that you're back home. When you walk into the airport terminal building, you walk in, and I don't even know if they audition the people who do it. No. It's almost like whoever's closest to the mic gets to do it first, you know? It's the craziest thing. Luckily, 99% of the time it's a woman, but she'll come on. It's the craziest thing ever. As you walk in, she'll come and be like, dum dum. Attention all passengers. Attention all passengers. Hello, I'm talking to you. Hello. Yeah, all the people is like hula.com. The plane is delayed. The plane was going on 2, it's going on 3. Yeah, all the people must just take a ticket for that one. Because they have a problem, nah? Just take on that. If a ticket says 2, then it's going to be 3, nah? That mustn't complain when the plane is not there, because then I need to tell you now. Then you must just phone the people that are coming to pick you up. Must tell them, yo, I need my plane is changed. It's stuck. And then they start speaking to people in the background. They don't even turn off their mic. All the must just tell the people they are abuban. But tell you things, I want to play and a cook drink. I need jelly and a cook drink. Yeah, I'm just not niggas. I need jelly. Yeah, it's chicken. Yeah, yeah. I'm for the drumstick. I'm not going to press. It's drumstick. Yeah, I'm for the drumstick. Okay, yes, I guess 7. Okay. All the people is like one time. The gate is changed. It's not D2. It's C15. It's not D2. It's C15. If you can go to D2, oh, you can find nothing. Okay, bye-bye. But I need my chain. Don't stand here.
Hey there, thanks for watching. Now, all I need you to do is click on that little circle on your screen. Yeah, that one. Oh, yeah, just like that. Hold on. Yeah, click.
Okay, guys, so I really enjoyed that. I do have a couple of stories that you might find kind of funny. The gate agents are usually the ones that make the announcements, and I was thinking, like, is it usually a woman? It's not always a woman. I've heard some really funny gate agents make announcements. One of the funniest things that I once saw happen at the gate is the only people that touch the microphone at the gates are the gate agents. And there was one time that me and the pilots and the other flight attendant, we got to the gate. The plane wasn't there yet. It was coming from maintenance. The captain knew this. And the gate agent was nowhere to be found. Just nowhere. They were off hiding because they knew that the plane was late and they didn't want to answer all the questions. And the captain picked up the microphone and started making an announcement like, okay guys, I want the big bags in the overhead bins. Don't put your little bags in the overhead bins. If you do, I'm going to come back there and we're going to have a conversation. He wasn't being like a jerk. He was trying to be funny. The passengers were laughing. The gate agent was there like that. It was the funniest thing. Like, they came over like hauling from another gate. Like, oh my gosh, someone's using my PA. And then they got there and they looked at the captain and they're like, oh, it's you. And I just started cracking up. And then another story that I thought of while I was watching that was pretty funny. One of the reasons that the pilots don't talk to you during turbulence is because they're in the middle of trying to keep the plane level and dealing with the turbulence and dealing with talking to dispatch and trying to find out what's a better level to fly at so we can get out of this turbulence. Do we go higher? Do we go lower? Do we go to the right? Do we go to the left? Like, we need calculations because we need to know how much fuel we have and all this stuff. One time when I was flying on a plane, it was the last flight of the night. We left about 45 minutes late. And as we were flying, one of the passengers asked me about halfway through the flight, what's our new ETA? estimated time of arrival. And I said, I don't know, let me go ask the captain. So I called him and I said, hey, Captain, what's the new ETA? And he's like, why do you need to know? And I said, well, a passenger wants to know. And this pilot, just so you know, was just a dick. But he was like, and why do they need to know? And I said, because they want to know? Can you tell me? And so he's like, 45 minutes. And I'm like, okay. Then we landed. And as we were walking through the airport, he's like, now who was it that wanted to know about when we were going to land? I said, well, it was the passenger in 14F. And he's like, and you thought it was okay to call me during turbulence to ask me that? And I was like, who else am I supposed to call? But basically he made it very clear that we were going through turbulence and he was dealing with that. So he didn't appreciate me calling. And I thought it didn't feel like it was that bumpy. So I don't know what kind of turbulence he was dealing with, but most likely if they're not talking to you during turbulence, that means that they are talking to dispatch and trying to get everything solved. So there's that. But those were a couple of the stories that I thought of while I was watching that. And probably the worst turbulence I've ever been in. It was pretty funny. The captain had called me and he said, we're going to hit turbulence in about 5 minutes. So stow your carts and get yourself buckled in. And I said, all right. Hung up the phone, went to the other flight attendant because the other flight attendant was in the middle of the aisle and they were just finishing the service. So they were backing up and I went back there to tell them because we don't announce that over the PA. I had only made it about 5 or 6 rows when all of a sudden we hit like this bubble of air and my feet came off the ground. And I immediately went, oh, heck no. I grabbed the seats and I went to sit down and the passengers thought I was falling and they tried to stop me from falling. Like they put their hands up and I was like, no, let me sit. And then I just sat on the ground because we were completely full flight. And then as I'm sitting there, this passenger over here, their orange juice just goes flying all over their lap. And I'm like, ooh, bummer. Sucks for you, huh? Want some napkins? Yeah. Give me a few minutes, okay? And I'm just sitting there on the floor like a little teapot, just chatting with the passengers. Felt really bad for that guy. And eventually, as the passengers were getting off, they were all like, oh, I saw you fall. Are you okay? I was like, no, I didn't fall. I literally sat on the ground. But it happens sometimes. Like, turbulence happens like that. And that was definitely not 5 minutes. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this as much as I did. And now let me go ahead and link to his video. Grab your remote. Here it comes. And here's another one of mine that YouTube thinks that you should watch. If you enjoyed Fun Friday where I react to just something that I want to have fun with, could be anything, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Let me know you liked it by hitting the like button. If you have any comments, questions, stories, things that you want me to react to, put it in the comments below. I would love to know. And I will see you guys in the next video. Ciao!